Here we go.
Making crap for money. Money. And money. Money. Making crap for money. Money. Yeah. 当他们都在说有钱才能做自我，掉入消费主义陷阱，花钱不思索，被市场的艺术品多得我快数不清，有垃圾点缀的歌我简直都不想听。自卑。
Welcome to the channel, everyone. Mo the Mechanic here, and today we're going to be installing lower control arms on this 2017 Jeep Patriot. Now these lower control arms can be a little difficult, especially with the inner bushing when installing them, but with this little trick that I have learned and now that I'm going to teach you, it will definitely help the install process go a lot smoother. So sit back and enjoy, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Now let's get right into it. Alright, so the tools that you're going to need to have to complete this job are going to be a decent sized pry bar, a 21mm socket, preferably a swivel socket if you have access to that, a 15mm socket, and also if you have access to a swivel head socket, that would make this process a lot faster and easier, an 18mm wrench, a 21mm wrench, an air hammer with the pickle fork attachment, or if you have just the regular pickle fork tool itself to get the lower ball joint out, will make your job so much easier. So right here, you're going to want to get your 21mm socket and remove the bolt right here on this bushing on the outer part on the inside of the lower control arm, and then after that you're going to want to remove your other bolt, which is a 21mm. So you're going to want to grab your 21mm wrench and your 21mm socket and undo that bolt. So we're going to go ahead and get that out right now. All right, now that you got your bolt out, now you can start to remove your third bolt, which is going to be a 15 and an 18. Now, as you can see, I'm sitting here trying to get the bolt out. Usually zipping it with the 15mm socket usually spins the bolt out in the lower control arm. Usually comes right out when you're doing it. Or you can see, as I'm doing here, I was trying to stick a pry bar in there to stick it underneath where the head meets on the knuckle. Usually that is, you can give it some force as you're zipping the bolt out with your air gun. It usually will force its way out, but in this case I ended up just taking a hammer and tapping it on the other end, and the bolt literally came right out. Alright, so after getting your last bolt out of your low control arm, the next you want to grab your air hammer with your pickle fork attachment or pickle fork itself and start going in there and separating your lower ball joint from your knuckle. Now that you did that, let's go ahead and get our lower control arm out of our vehicle. Just use a regular hammer, give it a couple of whacks, and the lower control arm should come right out. I don't know why I was trying to use a pry bar to pry that out. Hammer works perfectly fine, and as you can see, just working both sides of the lower control arm and get that last bushing out. Give it a couple whacks, and there you go. Lower control arm is now officially out the vehicle. Alright, so when installing the lower control arm, you do want to get that one inside bushing in first. Take your hammer, once you line it up, give it a couple whacks, and that should get that bushing in. And also you're going to want to line up the outer bushing on the inside of the control arm. Once again, just give it a couple of taps from the hammer, give it a couple of whacks, and once you're lined up with the outer bushing, then you gonna want to go ahead and put your 21 mil bolt back into there, just to make sure you're nice and centered when putting on your lower control arm. So now that you got your other bolt in your lower bolt joint, now comes the fun part. Now you're going to grab that decent sized pry bar, and what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to work that bushing back and forth. You can either, like I'm doing right here, get underneath there, move it to the side. What you want to do is you want to get that bottom hole lined up with your bolt. Doing a little stroking here a little bit. It went so much easier on the passenger side. I don't know why the driver's side decided to fight me a little bit, but just a little bit more, and trust me, the bolt will go in there. And this is a lot easier method I do when doing these lower bolt joints. So once you get a couple of turns on the bolt there, what I like to do is I like to just zip the bolt. You can either zip it or give it a whack with the hammer, but I found zipping it a little bit easier for me. And once you get that in there, now you just want to line your top hole up and continue to zip away, and the rest of the bolt should go right through the hole. And as you can see from the video, we actually did this lower control arm in minutes, and like I said, I believe it pays an hour each side. So if you're doing flat rate, you actually make some pretty good hours doing a bunch of these in minutes. So like I said, just give it a couple of works with the pry bar and line that top hole, and then your bolt will eventually go up. So once you get that top hole lined up for the rest of the bolt to go through, the rest of the job is just to tighten down all your bolts. Then do your alignment, because you're going to have to do alignment after replacing these components. And then the vehicle's all set and ready to go back to the customer. Other than that, if you like the video, please like, subscribe, and share, and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.